Hi friends, Allison here with AJ's Inspired Life, checking in today with my very first product review. Super cool. I have told you a couple times in some previous videos that this was coming up, and today is the day. So I was just contacted. This is not like sponsored necessarily, or like I'm not getting paid or anything. They just sent me the pens to try and to leave an honest review. And so I have had them for about 3 weeks now, and I've been using them. If you've seen some of my other videos, you've seen me use them, and I just wanted to share them with you. So the brand is called Parkoo. I will link it below. It's Parkoo. It is a set of 14 gel pens, and you can see here their colors. Okay, they are a click model, and it comes in this case, which is not like super amazing sturdy, but it's pretty good, and it's not I mean, it's not real flimsy. It hasn't broken or anything, and I do like the case. There was my shipping, I guess, in the back. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and model them or test them or whatever and just show you a little bit, okay? I mean, they're pens, you know how pens work, so I don't have to do too much here. My job is easy today, but I did want to share with you, they are 07, and it says it dries 3 times faster. So that is kind of the marketing tip of the day, I think. So I have here in front of me, I have 4 kinds of paper. I'm going to do these first for you. This is just an old piece out of a workbook. I use this a lot in my journals. Oftentimes I'll fold them. Oftentimes I'll paint on them. This is like, it's a little bit thicker. This is a plain page out of a regular composition book. And this is a page out of some of the journals that I showed you last month that I chose from, like that I got at TJ Maxx or something. And I actually used these pages to add to my journal this month. So this is a journal from Loveland's Life. It comes with this beautiful grid in it, but it didn't have enough pages, and so I added in some of these pages. Okay, so this is something that I will be using in my stuff. So very applicable. And then the last thing I have here is this little daily journal, which I've shown you before because I've tested watercolors and whatnot in it. And I thought we would just test it on this paper, like over some of the paints, because I haven't really used them in that capacity. So I thought maybe we'd try them out that way. Okay. So I don't know, it's a pen. I think it writes fairly well. They all come with the little nub on them. Like, I've obviously removed all of those, and it writes, it writes well. I don't know what to tell you. It's a gel pen. I think the weight is nice in my hand. This actual pen is definitely plastic, and it's like, it's not super slippery. It has a little bit of a flat texture to it, if that makes sense. So it's not super slippery, which I do like. It doesn't have like a grip to it, if you will, like some of them do, but it's not slippery. So I do like that. So I think they write well. I will just go ahead and show you the colors. I mean, they're pretty close to the outside, obviously. And I think I'm happy with them. It's a pretty solid pen. Now, when they say dries 3 times faster, I don't know what that means. Like 3 times faster than what? It doesn't say. So that would be the thing to check on. And I am looking, I don't have right in front of me. Let me see. I'm going to get out one more sheet for you. Okay, this is paper out of my Hobonichi that I haven't used, so we'll try that also just to see. Okay, so I have noticed sometimes they'll do kind of that, like skip a little bit or something, but then it just seems to roll again. So I don't know if it's maybe, sometimes I hold my pen a little differently also. So just something to think about there, but I think they're really smooth and they work really well. And again, I do think the colors are really true to this, but I am going to go through them and just make sure you guys can see them. And I'm going to make sure I have you. Yes, I do. All right. So there's three, well, I would say 3 blues, maybe 4, depending on what color you think this one is right here. Okay, so it's got some, okay, so this is like, what would we call this, royal? And this is like the navy. So definitely a difference there. And then they do have, you guys, this is like my coveted pen. Brown, I think it's kind of hard to come by, and I really like a good brown pen. So obviously there's the black. So they write really well. There wasn't like smearing, you know, if you dragged a little bit. I am not left-handed, but let's I think people that are left-handed talk about if they, I'm not trying to write, but I'm just saying if you're going from left to right and sometimes you drag your hand across it, yeah, there's no smudge there. So that seems pretty cool. Okay, obviously on this paper, there is no go through. There's a little bit, well, you can see it a little bit, but I don't think it ghosted too badly. Okay. All right, so that's the little thicker paper. This is the composition paper. Let me see if I can not be right in the middle of this thing. Nope, I'm going to be right in the middle of this thing. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see if we can, oops. Okay, and by the time I'm done with that, yeah, I don't even think the day smeared. Okay, we are going to get some ghosting with this. I only have, well, I do have a couple other sets that have a yellow. This is very hard for me to see. I'm sure it's very difficult on camera to see, but I'm not too sure about other yellows and how they would differ. Okay, so you guys get the gist. Let's see. Yeah, so you are going to get some ghosting on that. But again, this is the composition paper, which I think is fairly normal. So I'm just going to show you these, and then we're going to try one more thing too. All right. I have said this before, I do like the click as opposed to the cap, only because I lose the caps. And when you have them, I didn't bring down my planner, but let's say you have them in your planner. A lot of us have pin loops, like right here. And I tend to find that if I have a cap on the pen, oftentimes I'm pulling and the cap is coming off or whatnot. So I really like a click for anything that I'm using a pin loop for. So I do like that design. I wish that I did better art or something and I could show you if they, you know, if they do something else that you want them to do. That's about what I do for art. Let's see, I could do like a, what else could I do? I don't even know, you guys. So if you wanted to do some doodling or something, there is a bunny that you could doodle. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm probably not selling the pins, so that's not my intent to sell them, but okay, so let's see. So a little bit more ghosting with the parts that I went over a little bit more, and the darker colors, obviously. And that was that journal page from my extra journal. Excuse me. This is the Hobonichi paper, which is the Tomo River paper. Is that right? I don't even know, you guys. It's that really thin paper, but it resists some inks. Like if you watercolor on it or something, it kind of sits on the top a little bit. It takes a while for it to sink in. So I'm curious. I haven't actually tried these on this paper. Okay, so so there is the word amazing. And okay, so you are going to get a little bit of smearing with that. Again, that is the paper though. It is meant or made for the ink to sit on top. For just a minute. And so normally when you do your writing or whatever you do let it dry a little bit. And pretty normal compared to other papers. Okay. All right. Let me just show you. This again is just this little daily journal. It is not watercolor paper. So this paper is just plain. It is not meant to necessarily take the watercolor, although I think it handled it fairly well. I don't mind a wrinkled page like this, but it's not super thick. And so I just wanted to, well, here, we'll try it on this one because this is 3 different markers. This is, I think, watercolor, and then the crayons, and then the sparkle crayons, I think, if I can remember. And what we'll do is we'll just choose a quote out of here and see if we can. Okay, we'll just do be kind to others. Okay. Like I couldn't think of that on my own, I know, but I just let's see. Okay, it is working fine. It's working fine. It took, this is again those glitter crayons, so it has a little bit of a tooth to it, and you can see it did not come up quite as bold as like up here on the plain watercolor, but it wrote over it just fine. So I'm pretty happy with that. The only other thing I can think to show you, and they didn't give me any parameters of like what I should do or not. They said just give an honest review. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to rip up my paper here, and we will try one more thing just so you can see them. I'm not going to do all 4 of them. The only other way I know to look at pens is to compare them. Okay, so if I were to compare these, the logical set to compare them to is the Ink Joys from Papermate. Okay, and this is a similar one. It is the click style, and they have some similar colors. So I thought maybe since I had you here, I would do that. So I'm gonna choose maybe 3 colors. So I don't have my full Inkjoy set down here because my daughter has hijacked them. I do know it had a brown in it. I think it had all the same colors. Okay. also have this set, which we can test real fast. Okay, and these are just a ballpoint, so they're not super comparable. So let's compare these. I'm going to choose the same colors out of this set, which is the Parkoo set, and I'm going to compare them to the Inkjoy set. And if you guys haven't ever used the Inkjoy, they're known for how smoothly they write and with the gel. Okay, so it's the same nib size or tip size. It's the 0.7 on both of them. Is that right? 0.7, 0.7, yeah. And I would say the Inkjoy feels heavier in my hand. Not heavy, just heavier, like maybe more, a little bit more substantial. It does have a little bit thicker of a barrel, and this is a little bit more grippy. If you guys are used to this, it's got a little bit more tooth in it, okay? And these obviously are the plastic, but again, are really like an okay feel. So let's, here, we'll just do light blue, and I'm gonna go like that, okay? So that was the Inkjoy, and then I'm gonna do light blue, and I'm gonna go like that. So, in my humble opinion, I think this one is a little bit darker, maybe even a little bit more ink, could be. And again, this is that Hobonichi paper, so very, very difficult. Everything's going to smudge on these almost, I'm going to say. Okay, we'll try it on this one as well. Light blue and a wipe, so like no smudge there. And that was the Inkjoy. And there's that one. Okay, so no smudge on either one, and you can tell maybe a little bit, it's actually a little bit darker and maybe more inky. I don't know if that's a word or not, but it is now. All right, here's red. So a little bit of smudge, like where the double ink was that it met at the bottom. Maybe a little bit of smudge as well. So very similar. And yellow in the Inkjoy, and yellow. So not a lot of difference in color, maybe a little bit darker on this one or not, but very, very similar. Okay, so that's on the normal composition paper, like the absolute normal. And then here's the back. So both of those came, you know, through. You're going to have ghosting, which is why a lot of us like glue pages together or something if you're using the composition page. Okay. All right. So I think, I think they're very, very comparable to the Paper Mates. Now, why is that important? Because I think, and I haven't priced these recently, but I think these are way more affordable is my go-to answer off the bat. I will link it below. I found them on Amazon. I would assume this pack is like way more affordable than the ink gels if you're not buying them on sale or, you know, any of that. So this is just a ballpoint pen. This is Click. I don't even know. This is a ballpoint pen. Now that's interesting because that's like not even yellow. So, and obviously there's no smearing with this, but so you can see kind of the difference in just using a ballpoint. So it's just not as, a ballpoint's just not going to be as smooth, obviously. This, and these get kind of gunky. I don't use them too often, but no, that one may not. There it goes. And this may be the wrong color, but you can kind of get the gist. Oh yeah. So okay, so this is what it did when I was writing in my journal the other night. If you watched my video, it kind of like went away. And what I think happened was, I think I've dragged my hand across this paper or something, and it like is not picking up. I had to go back over it, but then, I mean, the pen came right back, and then, yep, see, there it goes. So I think that I think like I have oil or something on my hand and I did something like that. So, all right, so this is the ballpoint again, which again, you know how it feels. It's just a different feeling in your hand. So yeah, very smooth and I don't know, like more vibrant. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for there. The gel pens are definitely more vibrant than the ink. So you guys, that's it for me. I am enjoying using them. I'm enjoying adding colors to my pages. I often will add colors like to my planner and not always to my journal pages. I obviously tend to journal in black a lot. And sometimes I used to journal more in colors. Anyway, I'm bringing it back. That's what I'm doing. And it's nice to have kind of a full set and have them kind of in just a nice case that's easy to use. I've gotten in and out of it a lot. It seems to be holding up well. So that's it for my review. It's, you know, I would say if you're in the market and you want to try a gel pen, they're definitely in a good price range for you. Here is the back, if you need it. And then they do have a web address at parkooshop.com. So I'll try and link that below. I did see them also on Amazon. And I don't know, I think they're a pretty good pen. So maybe check them out if you're in the market. All right, that's it for me, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you find something today that inspires you. Have a great day. Bye.